Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to speak at the receiver's anniversary today. He'll be joined by SARS Commissioner Kieswetter. It comes as the taxman reports a decline in collections. eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto is watching this and joins us live. Good morning, Moloko. What are we expecting today at the anniversary?
Good morning, Mfundo Mabalane. Indeed, the offices of SARS are this morning a hive of activity. This morning, we are expecting President Cyril Ramaphosa, together with the Commissioner Kieswetter, to really join in the celebration of this institution, celebrating 25 years since it was founded. You would recall that prior to that, during the apartheid years, it was actually it existed in the form of various institutions, but post-democracy, they were merged into a single entity. And of course, over the years, it's been the pride of this country, only to be blemished later during the years of the so-called state capture. Of course, the new commissioner was brought in to stabilize this institution. But let me bring into this conversation Mr. Sibeko, who is the head of communications here at SARS. Sir, thank you so much. If you can just, in a nutshell, tell us why are we here?
Good morning. Today we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of South African Revenue Service. It is a milestone in the history of our existence. Out of various administration, inland revenue service, customs service, and the Bantustan revenue authorities, we formed one revenue institution which is called SARS in 1997. So today is our 25 years anniversary, our golden jubilee.
Yeah, and your mandate primarily really is to take money from us. How have you been performing so far, and what have been the impediments? Have you been dealing with people who've been trying to avoid you?
Well, our core mandate is to collect revenue that is due to the state, is to facilitate trade, and where necessary, advise the ministers of finance and trade on matters of trade. So our role is to ensure that we collect revenue so that we can pay for the social services that our country so deservedly need, the old age pension grants, the grants for children, and we now do know that given the challenges of COVID, we do need to assist South Africans. This is out of that very revenue that we collect so that the state is sustained and is made capable.
Yeah, and in terms of the joint statement that you issued together with the National Treasury sometime in January, you actually indicate that a total tax revenue collection for the 2020-2021 financial year declined by nearly 8%, 7.8% to be specific, to 1.2 trillion rand from 1.3 trillion rand. Over 100 billion rand went, you couldn't collect it. What have been the issue there?
Well, we exceeded our revenue estimates, what people know as revenue targets, by almost 20 billion. Since our founding up until now, we had collected well over 18 trillion. As for the economic challenges, as we know, we're coming out of COVID, but as I said, we did exceed our revenue estimate.
But you concede there was a decline?
That as it relates to the economic decline, there would have been an economic decline as a consequence of COVID. But as for the revenue estimate that was given to us based on the economic activities then, we did exceed that.
Now, what's going to be happening today? We're expecting the president to be taken to the podium.
Well, His Excellency will be celebrating with us on this memorable occasion. We serve, obviously, the executive in terms of ensuring that the revenue that we generate gets given to the executive for furtherance of addressing the socio-economic challenges in our country.
There's no way I cannot ask this question. The letter written to you as SARS, but also the National Treasury by Bain & Company, that multinational company from the United States, which was banned by the National Treasury from doing business with the government of South Africa because of its involvement in the state capture when it was consulting for SARS back then. Do you confirm you have received that letter? Is it receiving attention? I know we're still going to speak to the commissioner there, but has the letter reached you?
Mr. Mabelane, I would rather leave that to the Chief Executive, which is Commissioner Kieswetter. He will be able to address the totality of all your questions with respect to the question that you just asked.
Mr. Sipeto Sibeko just called me Mr. Mabalane Mfundo there. Well, we are expecting the president to arrive anytime soon. And of course, we're hoping to forward this question to both the National Commissioner of SARS, but also the Deputy Minister of National Treasury, hopefully the president himself.
All right, hopefully so. Thank you very much, Mr. Mabalane, for just this particular segment. Thank you very much. That's eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto.